Hey there, welcome to another episode of the vlog, the videos in between the instructional videos where I give a little bit of an insight as to what it's like to work as a practitioner psychologist. I'm Dr. Richard McKinnon, I'm a chartered psychologist and coach, and on this channel I like to share insights from the science of psychology to help you be your best self. And really the aim here is to demystify what it is that I do, explain what's involved, and tell you a little bit about the work that I'm doing. I know some people are interested in what's going on in the background. So since last time, I ran a webinar all about coaching, where the idea there was to demystify coaching and help people understand what it is and what it's not, and bust some myths and misconceptions. And I do this on a roughly quarterly basis because it's basically a really efficient way of answering people's questions, helping them understand if coaching is for them, and also how to introduce it to their organization. So there's a recording of that available on the online community, and you can find that at worklifepsych.club. It may well answer questions you have about coaching, but of course you can also check out the coaching FAQ page on the website where I regularly add new answers to questions that we receive about coaching. I want to turn to a question because part of the idea of doing these little videos is to answer questions I get about my job. One that comes up from time to time is when someone is empathizing with me, or sometimes sympathizing, that must be a really difficult job. Listening to people and their problems. Don't you ever feel sad because of the work that you do? Now, one answer to this is that I don't feel sad because of the work that I do. I wouldn't keep doing it. I derive a lot of satisfaction, a lot of meaning from the work that I do. I love what I do. Doesn't mean every day sparks joy, not at all. Just like every job, there are difficulties and challenges. But personally speaking, the challenges that I have to grapple with are not about my clients. They're about the admin that goes with running a business. They're about the communications challenges with getting things agreed or chasing invoices that haven't been paid. It's that side of stuff, and if anything makes me sad, it's that. And I guess this is why it's really important to be clear on the skills you bring to coaching as a coach, because it's not counseling, it's not managing someone, telling them what to do, and it's not being someone's friend and just maybe agreeing with them or telling them that of course they're right and their manager is a monster. It's in between all of those. It's a very different relationship. And one of the superpowers, as I would put it, that an effective coaching psychologist brings is empathy. That is appreciating what someone is feeling, doing the heavy lifting of taking different perspectives and adopting and trying out different perspectives and trying to see the world from their point of view, remaining non-judgmental. You know, a lot of the time someone will come to the table with what sounds like a really difficult situation. And if I were their manager, I might say, well, look, you've made this worse for yourself. Look at all these mistakes you've made. Look at all this avoidance you've been engaged in. But really, that is not going to help our relationship. Being non-judgmental about it means I'm looking to be curious about what led them to that point and how must it have felt for them and how did it seem like the right thing to do from their perspective. So emphasizing listening and curiosity and being non-judgmental and trying to be objective, and also with eyes on the prize, that this isn't about me proving myself right. It's not about telling them what to do. It's about exploring the topic, exploring the challenge together as a team and helping them find a way forward, what it is that they want to do to address the challenge or grow in a certain direction, because it's not always problem focused. But I will admit, I do hear stories working as a coaching psychologist that don't brighten my day. I hear about difficult relationships at work. I hear about the impact that someone's very demanding job has on their personal life, on their family, that it's having on their well-being, and maybe how they're engaging in coping strategies that are very, very bad for them, that are really not sustainable, and that are making the problem worse. This is where supervision comes in. And this is I don't think this is something I've discussed on the channel before, but it's really imperative to work in a supervised relationship. So I engage in monthly supervision, which means I can bring all of this stuff to someone who's qualified as a coaching supervisor and talk it through. I don't have to bottle it up. I don't have to solve it, if you like, by myself. And I certainly don't bring it down the pub and talk to my friends about it. I have this space, this outlet where I can talk it through and review what it was like for me as a human to hear that stuff, how I handled that situation, and maybe get some input from my supervisor, but also maybe some acknowledgement that, you know, while it wasn't perfect, it was a good way of handling that situation. And so I'm learning session by session how to do a better job of dealing with some of this stuff that we'd rather not hear in life. And it's part of the double-edged sword about creating an effective relationship with someone in coaching. As time goes on, they're more likely to trust you. And as a result of this trust, they're more likely to tell you things about their experience that maybe you weren't expecting to hear. So being present for them, paying attention to now, and not getting lost in my own thoughts means I'm less likely to be sort of ambushed by the surprise that they're telling me something I wasn't expecting, and I can handle it in that moment. That is a really long answer to the question, does your job ever make you sad? If someone can find me a way of removing all the admin from running a business, which I don't think is ever going to happen, then I'll never experience sadness at work. But my job doesn't leave me feeling permanently sad. And I know what to do when I've had a tough day at work, which is really engage in some sustainable coping strategies, something that I know is going to be good for me. And these days, that's about going downstairs to the gym and getting some exercise. So that's this update, that's this vlog, that's that question. Hopefully that's answered it in some detail. I'd love to hear what other questions you have about what it's like to be a psychologist, what coaching is like, anything from the practicalities to the topics to, well, anything at all. Drop your questions in the space below. Share this video with someone who you think might be interested in learning more about it, and please come back to watch the next one. But for now, thanks for watching.